Hi, I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And as a business consultant and life coach, I help you to move forward in your business, project, or endeavor. So if you always wanted to write a book, but you just haven't seemed to get started, or you always wanted to 10x that business that you already have, expand it to the next level, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just haven't done it? Well, I've already purchased all the courses, read all the books, the Tony Robbins, all sorts. I have several degrees, including a master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I've sat with and met celebrities and done the networking. And what I realized is what I really needed was a mastermind group of people working toward my project, my business, or my endeavor. So what I've done is met with coaches and met with experts and put them together to work on your project. So join us today for our mastermind networking group. I'll see you there. Click the link below and join us.
Hello and welcome to the Ask Arlene show. I'm so glad to join you again. Today we are talking about a topic that I think is very interesting. So I hear a lot of people talking about marriage these days. I see young people, old people, people who've never been married, people who are just flabberjabbering about it. And I figured, although I am not the preeminent speaker on this topic, having been married myself and divorced and married and having raised kids in a marriage, I have something to say about the topic. So, as many of you know, I've done a show previously about this topic of marriage, and I had a lady who'd been married for 33 years, and she is a doctor and she is a counselor. And then we've also done the show where we had young people on the show, and they were talking about it from their perspective and how challenging it is today. So, today I'm going to give you 10 quick secrets in terms of what I think a person who is looking to get married today may want to look at. Okay. So, secret number one is always clarity, being clear about what you want. So, everybody has these statistics. They're like, oh, the statistics say that you should write a list of what you want in this husband or in this wife. But I'm sharing with you that I don't think it's so much about the list, although it is important to be clear about what you want. But it's also important, in addition to being clear about what you want, what it says down there, it's also important to be clear about who you are and who you're being. Because who you are being, guys, is who you are going to attract. And we constantly attract, have you noticed? We constantly attract the same person. When I went through my first divorce, I say first like there were several, oh gosh. The only divorce, when I went through the only divorce, there was an attorney, a very high-end attorney, and he said to me, be careful because when people remarry, they tend to remarry the same person. Now, why is that? Why is that, people? I believe the answer is this. We tend to marry the same person because we are the same person. So until we change, we're going to attract the same thing. There's a story about a woman who was from a family where she never met her father, but the father was an alcoholic and she didn't know her father was an alcoholic. So she had no trauma about alcoholism. But years later, she became an alcoholic and she was exuding this behavior in her marriage, the same behavior that her mother was going through with the husband that she had at the time, who was the father, who was the alcoholic. And when she shared the concept with her mother took a step back. She was a very spiritual person. And she said, oh my goodness, I never shared this with you, but your dad was an alcoholic. So you may want to, investigate this and look into it. So why is this? She didn't even know her dad, but she was exuding the characteristics of the person who was going to be in that kind of abusive relationship, abusing the alcohol. Does that happen to everybody? No, but does it make sense for us to at least know who we are, know what our challenges are, know what we fought with in the past, or what our parents have had challenges with in the past? Because that's what we've spent our eyes looking at. And that deals with the concept of focus, which I'll get to, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let's just talk about step number one, which is clarity. Clear about what we want, but clear about who we're being. Whatever you put out is what we're going to get back. Okay, so if we want a tall, beautiful woman who is physically fit, are we tall? Are we physically fit? I mean, you're not going to make yourself any taller, but you can be more physically fit if that's a factor that is of real importance to you. And also, there's this concept of non negotiables. So, a lot of people will say, well, this partner, this woman fits the criteria, or this man fits the criteria. So he's wealthy and he has, great employment and he comes from a good family, but he doesn't have the spiritual component. But I'm just going to skip that because he has all these other things. Well, this is where this concept of non negotiables comes in, guys. So many people get married and don't even have non negotiables, or they've never even heard the term, or they're not looking at that concept. If you hear nothing else from me today, hear this concept of non negotiables. You need to know which items are a deal breaker. So somebody may say, well, I could deal with the gentleman who travels all the time and he's never home, but he's wealthy and he takes care of the family financially. And so, that's what's most important to me. That's the non negotiable for me. And somebody else may say, well, no, actually, the non negotiable is I do need the partner by my side. I need someone who's in a profession where they're going to be home. They're going to help me to raise these kids. And there was Michelle Obama when she was talking about her relationship with Barack Obama President Barack Obama before he was the president. And she said how with his profession, he wasn't home a lot. And it created a conflict. It created a fiction because she said, wait a minute, am I raising these kids by myself? No, I need you to spend more time with us. And it created a dialogue about that. So is this a key piece? Yes. Is this a key component? Yes. Know your non-negotiables and also know what it is that you're exuding so that you can attract the person that you truly want. So that's what it is. A lot of people are looking, where is he? Where is she? But it's really a lot about attraction. You will attract the person who's most like you. That means I need to get myself in order. Do you have a nasty attitude? But yet you're wondering, why does that person have a nasty attitude? He's great, but I just don't like his nasty attitude. Well, is it possible that he's reflecting back to you what you're sharing, or she's reflecting back to you based on what she's receiving? All right, secret number 2, guys. Gonna keep it moving. Secret number 2 is visualization. So in addition to making your list of the characteristics that you have and that you possess that make you the brightest and the best in the world, you are that special someone. We should also visualize the kind of lifestyle that we want. Like see it in your mind's eye. What kind of home do you live in? How many kids do you have? Where do you guys go for vacations? If you go for vacations, what type of lifestyle do you want? So when I created my visualization in terms of my business, when I got that job where I was recruited, the office that was set up, I kid you not, guys, the office looked exactly like the office that I had seen in my mind's eye. Is it possible that you're attracting the gentleman or the woman that is exactly what you visualized? Yes, it is possible. So let's visualize what we truly want. Let's spend time sitting down, putting everything to the side, turn off the TV, turn off the radio, don't answer the phone, no text, no interruptions, and just take a moment. Take a deep breath in and breathe out and see in your mind's eye, what does that ideal relationship look like? And what you may find when you take that moment is that you may not even want a relationship. You may not even want to be married because your ideal, when you close your eyes and you think of that ideal day, it does not include a partner. So the tongue in your mouth and the tongue in your shoe have to go in the same direction in order for you to attract that ideal person. So I believe strongly that anybody who does not have a relationship, that says they want a relationship, but is not in a relationship, it's because they don't truly want one. What are you saying, Arlene? That's not true. I want a relationship. I just haven't found Mrs. Right. I just haven't found Mr. Right. All the other things that you've endeavored to do, you've done. All the other things that you've endeavored to attract, you've attracted. So why not this area? Is it possible that what you're giving out is that I don't really want a partner? I'm independent. I'm happy. I'm good. I don't need this extra person. This is extra baggage. There's so many things that may be going on in our mind that we are not privy to in the conscious mind. Okay? So I need you guys, as we're looking at our perfect partner, we looking at visualization as step number 2, but we also need to go into step number 3, which is actually momentum. If we truly want to be with a partner, it makes sense to not only visualize step number 2, but walk it out as if you have a partner. What does your day look like with that partner? Okay. Have you been leaving room in the driveway for the partner's car? That's whacked out, Arlene. What are you talking about? I'm serious. Are you leaving space in your schedule for your perfect partner? Do you have time? Like, a lot of people are just that busy. I've got my kids, I've got my job, I've got, my extracurricular activities, and you really don't have time for a partner. Okay. So step number 3 in the process is to plan. Plan for this perfect partner that you are going to attract along the journey, along the way. Make room. Schedule a date with yourself. Like, put time aside, guys, where you are going to go out with this perfect partner. Okay. I don't know if it's Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, Saturday nights, whenever it is, put it in your schedule, pencil it in. So your conscious mind is in line with your subconscious mind. So the tongue in your mouth is in line with the tongue in your shoes. And also, as we're walking it out, some of us say, well, when I am in my perfect relationship, then I'm going to get myself in order. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Whatever it is that you are planning on doing when you are with the perfect partner, plan on doing it now. And for some of us, and I'm talking about myself, let me just talk about myself. Time, I'm putting it all out there for you guys today. Time is of the essence. Many of us who've been very successful understand that we can make more money, but we cannot acquire more time. And so the time that we spend with our loved ones is finite. When I spend time with my friends and family, that's me expressing love. So the partner that I have has to understand the value that I place on time. So there was a book and it says men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And one of the things that he asks people to do in that book is to look at your love language and look at what you value versus what the other party values. Okay, so it's not just the physical and the things that you want, but also our values in line with our non-negotiables. So a lot of the fighting that goes on is because one person values one thing in the relationship and somebody else values another thing, guys. Do you value time over money? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Do you value love and affection in terms of, touching and hugging and kissing over the words of affirmation? We need to look at our values and also in correlation with the person that we're dating. If you guys don't have the same values, but you can express to the person where you stand and what's most important to you, and they can accommodate that and vice versa, then this is a relationship that we would want to pursue for the next 10, 15, 20 years. But if not, this may not be somebody that we want to spend time with because it's not going to end up in a marriage. And if it does end up in a marriage, it's going to be unsuccessful, okay? Because you guys are not on the same page and that person is not willing to get on the same page with you. So don't even date them. I'm not a proponent of dating people that you're not going to eventually marry. So some people say, just date everybody. Just get out there and have a good time, girl. Have a good time, guy. I mean, you got lots of time. No, I say, if you're interested in getting married, date the person that you think you would want to marry. Doesn't mean that you're going to end up marrying that person, but at least the person has the characteristics that you're interested in. So it could, if it does progress to the next level, you're going to be married to someone that you truly would want to be married to, as opposed to dating a guy that you know you don't want to be married to, but then because you've been dating him for so long, so much time has passed, you've invested so much, he asks you to marry him or she wants you to marry her, and now you feel obligated because you've been in the relationship for so long. So it's important not to, don't even go out with somebody that doesn't fit your non-negotiables. All right. And even in line with the non-negotiables is this concept of, I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it. But if you guys are not compatible in the romantic region, don't even don't even date the person. Because some people are very touchy-feely and other people are not. And if you're not getting what you think you deserve or what you think you need, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, it's very likely that one party will cheat because one party feels like they're not getting what they need. Guys, is it that simple? Yes, it's that simple. And another thing that comes to mind, and it keeps evading me, it's come to mind a few times, is this concept of you're not marrying the person as they are today, but you're married. If you want longevity in the marriage, you're marrying the person as they plan to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Now, do you really know even where you are going to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years? Well, no, but you should at least have an idea in your mind's eye of what it is that you want. So see whether or not that person is in line with you in terms of where they want to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, this is a key secret, a key component that a lot of people don't think of when dating and looking for that perfect partner, or when allowing themselves to be found by that perfect partner. Date the person and make sure that the conversation lends to, what are your goals down the line? Where do you want to be in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years? So I know also, what's his name? Pastor Creflo Dollar did a video, and I'm going to link it in our chat area, about this video that he did where he said you should look at the person's credit and you should, have all this additional criteria when dating this person. So I'm not going to go into that, but secret number 4 in terms of what you should look for is, a secret in terms of how you should be found by that perfect partner is proximity. Are you hanging out with married people if you want to be married? If you're not hanging out with married people, how do you ever plan to be married? If all your friends are single and you're single, then you're perfectly where you're gonna be for quite a while. But the ideal, so not to say that it's impossible, but the ideal is to find some people who are married, who are successfully on that trajectory. Talk with them, spend time with them, find out who their friends are, because birds of a feather flock together. Married people hang out with married people. If I'm married, then I don't necessarily want to hang out with some, hot stud, single person, because that may be problematic. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But ideally, I'm going to be seeking out people who are also successfully married. So there's some people who are married, but they hate each other. Do I want to hang out with them? No. As a single person looking to get married? No. The one who says, man, you don't want to do that. This marriage thing sucks. No. You want to spend time with people who are going to encourage you in this vein. What's another reason why we should get married these days, guys? It's not all about the huggy, huggy, kissy, kissy. One of the most important reasons why we need longevity in our relationships is from a fundamental financial perspective. Yes, I said it. Finances, because we want generational wealth in our families, in our communities. And when two people are together and working, they can be more financially lucrative than when it's one person working. Now, could that person individually make a large sum of money? Yes. But even if the person makes a large sum and the other person makes a small sum, together we can work together and support the family in a better, bigger way. Let me not say better, in a bigger financial way than otherwise. Okay. And I hear the people saying to me, well, what if the relationship is not good? It's better to not be married than to be in a poor relationship. But we're just talking about good relationships. Okay, because we're talking about you endeavoring to embark on a good marital relationship with that partner who nourishes you and feeds you, and you're going to implement a relationship that is going to foster generational wealth. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not talking about the bad ones today because we're just talking about what is ideal and how to go about looking at it. So, some people say, social media doesn't work for building relationships. I'm not against social media. I think if you can find that person who has the values that you're looking for and you happen to find them through social media or through a dating app, well, go for it. I'm not really a proponent of, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on TV because, maybe it's a conflict to say something derogatory about a particular dating app. But let's just say there are some that are set up exclusively for the hookup. So if you're looking for a serious marital relationship and you're somebody who's young, don't go on the hookup website. Spend your time on the websites that are geared toward people who are serious and people who want to be married. Okay? Don't go on the hookup website. Don't even waste time on it. And then complain and cry and say, wow, this person I met on the site that I've been dating for the past 2, 3 years, it didn't turn out well. Well, they were on a hookup website. Okay. So I'm talking to people who are serious and they really would like to be a part of a loving, permanent marital relationship. Um, and I don't agree with Kevin Samuels, who talks about women who have kids. If you already have kids, then, and he has a word for them. People, you shouldn't look to endeavor to find, what is the name of that man? The man that he says that is affluent. It escapes me right now, guys. And my team is not yelling it out at me, although they're the ones that told me to go and look up Kevin Samuels in the first place, who said a lot about relationships. And he said a lot of good things, a lot of factual things. But as far as what he was telling women about women who are, if they have killed kids or if they're overweight, then they shouldn't look to connect with this financial partner. I disagree. If that is a priority to you, then endeavor to look for the person that fills your goals and fills your need. Because what you're looking for is also looking for you. And everybody's not looking for the same thing. Not everyone is interested in a wealthy man. And we also did a video about the wealthy man. Okay, I did it with another friend of mine. So go to Ask Arlene show and look up that video. If I remember, I'll also link it in my comments when I post this on YouTube. But this concept is you can have whatever you want. Guys, Arlene Mclaren says you can have whatever you want. You can go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. Now, does it take time? Will it take longer, perhaps? But it does happen. There's Dr. Cindy Trim, who is a mature woman. I don't want to give her age because I'm not even sure of it. But if she's 65 or over 55, I would think that that's where she is, over 55. And she just got married. There's Dr. Faith, who just married, what is his name? I know I wrote it down. What is that gentleman's name? Kenny Lattimore, right? She hit the jackpot. She was looking for a particular type of man. He was a wealthy man. And so she eventually connected with him. Now she's mature in age, but it happened because that's what she was looking for. So, yes, does it take time to achieve the goals that we have? Yes. Are they achievable, however, given enough time and enough effort? Yes. And given secret number 10, which is coaching. So one of the reasons why we're looking for proximity is if your friends reflect what it is that you want, then you will be even more likely to get what you want, because birds of a feather flock together. We earn within $5,000 of the people that we spend most of our time with. Whatever it is that you're around is what you become. And we say that in business, but it also remains in terms of relationships. It's no accident that Magic Johnson, if you guys go online and type it in, Magic Johnson is on his boat with a group of 5 friends. It is, of course, the names are escaping me now, the 5 friends. But one of them was LL Cool J and his wife. And also one of them was the woman who who played the Queen in Eddie Murphy's Coming to America, and her husband, and also the gentleman who is a top actor. Basically, what is my point? My point is his friends are just like him. They're all very wealthy. They're all married. The people who he's associating with, they tend to be business owners. They tend to be doing the same types of things that he is doing. Now, don't write me nasty messages and say, well, everybody has value. I know everybody has value, but I'm saying if this is something that you value, I am sharing with you that yes, you can have it. Find friends or people who are exuding those things. Now, in the last few minutes, I want us to flash the team to flash the different points so that I can talk about the different points as they relate to marriage, because I skipped out some of them. But I know secret number 4, we talked about 3, which is proximity, gaining more by starting small. Well, right. Like I said, go out there and get it, do it, start walking it out, put the time frames in place as if you were already married. Where is the time for the kids? Where is the time for the dating? Where is the time for these elements that are going to be necessary once you get into this ideal relationship? Because believe it or not, some relationships break up because people just don't have time. They don't have time for this. Secret number 4 was proximity. Secret number 5 was, I believe, maybe health and fitness. And what I'm sharing with you is we do have to take care of ourselves. It makes no sense to be in a relationship or get married or look for a perfect partner if we're not healthy, right? So that may involve some exercise. Get some time, guys. One of the key components to being in a relationship is taking care of ourselves. If you don't take care of yourself, how do you expect your partner to take care of themselves? But if we spend time, maybe going on walks, maybe, doing some bike riding, some exercising, then the likelihood that our partner is also going to do that is also great. Secret number 7, I believe secret number 7 was that, 6 is focus. What are you focused on? If you're focused on relationship, if you're focused on marriage, and it says reinvent your business, because we're usually talking about business, but as it relates to marriage, reinvent yourself. If you've not been married before and you haven't had that as a focus, reinvent yourself with that as a focus. So these pieces of the puzzle that we're putting together are all going to make you more attractive to the person that you want to marry, because now you've set aside time for them. You have that space for them, and you're focusing on that as something that you place importance on, as opposed to, I don't value them. So a lot of women or men will say, I don't value marriage. That's not a big deal. That's not something that is important. Secret number 7 is to put it as a focus. And 8 and 9, environment. Make sure that your place is conducive to a partner. And number 9 is perseverance. So if you've tried it in the past and it has not worked for you, please persevere and start again. I'd love to talk with you some more about this topic of getting married, because I think a lot more young people or old people have given up on it. And I want to share with you not to do that. Thank you so much for spending the time with us today. I'd like to thank the team. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Katrina. And please subscribe to the show and drop me a line and tell me your tips and techniques as far as getting married and having a happy marriage. Thank you so much. AskArleneShow.com and go to Ask Arlene Show on all the social media. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Name some things I'll be without you, good. So I'm misunderstood. So I'm a